Welcome back to the showdown between Lucifer Morningstar and Oblivion. Lucifer Morningstar is the embodiment of absolute will and freedom, while Oblivion is the embodiment of nothingness, of non-existence, and the eternal void beyond all concepts. Both exist on the highest metaphysical planes, where the laws of the multiverse are but fragile illusions. To understand who will be the last ones standing, we need to delve deeply into the origin, the nature of power, the cosmology, and the philosophical significance of each entity. In short, let us begin. First is the bearer of absolute will, Lucifer Morningstar, also known by countless titles such as Satan, the Fallen One, the Morning Star, and the Lightbringer. He is one of the most ancient, powerful, and complex entities. In the DC Vertigo universe, especially through the classic works of Neil Gaiman and Mike Carey, Lucifer is not an evil devil in the conventional religious sense, but the greatest of angels, the second son of the Supreme Creator, often referred to as the Presence. Lucifer's origin is tied to the dawn of all things. Before the universe, before time and space, there was only the Presence and his conceptions. The Presence created Michael Demiurgos, who embodied infinite creative power, and Lucifer, who embodied the absolute will to shape what Michael created. Lucifer was the most beautiful, the most intelligent, and the most powerful of all the angels, and he was given the role of commanding the heavenly host, safeguarding the order of creation. However, the tragedy and the core essence of Lucifer lies in his defiance. Lucifer did not accept being controlled, even if that control came from his own father. He believed that free will was the greatest gift and the ultimate nature of all sentient beings. When the Presence commanded the angels to kneel and worship him, Lucifer refused. He did not want to be bound by any destiny or plan, not even the plan of the Almighty. This defiance led to the war in heaven, where Lucifer and the angels who followed him fought against Michael and the loyal angel. Despite possessing power equal to Michael, Lucifer ultimately chose to abandon heaven, tearing off his own wings and casting himself down into hell, not because he was defeated, but because he wanted to rule a kingdom of damned souls. Beings who also craved freedom as he did. The abilities of Lucifer Morningstar transcend all concepts of ordinary magic or superpowers. His core power is absolute will. This will is not mere determination, but a metaphysical force capable of bending reality, rewriting physical laws, and reshaping the multiverse itself. If Michael Demiurgos possesses the demiurgic power to create matter and energy from nothingness, then Lucifer has the ability to shape, mold, and manipulate those creations according to his desire. The willpower of Lucifer is absolute, meaning nothing in the multiverse can resist his will if he is truly focused. He can alter the past, present, and future, create or erase concepts, and manipulate the souls of all sentient beings. Physically and existentially, Lucifer is an entity who is immortal in the truest sense. He does not age, suffers no illness, and cannot be destroyed by any physical or energetic means. His body is merely a physical avatar he creates to interact with lower dimension. He can change its shape, size, and nature at will. He can fly across dimensions, instantly teleport anywhere in the multiverse, and exist simultaneously in multiple places. His speed and reflexes transcend the concept of time, allowing him to react to events before they happen. Lucifer's weapons and tools are not complex swords or spells, but his own nature. However, he often employs hellfire, a primordial form of energy capable of burning both souls and concepts. Lucifer's fire does not merely destroy matter, it erases a target's existence on a metaphysical level. He also possesses absolute soul manipulation, capable of reading every thought, memory, and desire of any sentient being, and can punish or bless them in ways far beyond human comprehension. One of his greatest feats, and the clearest testament to his power, is the creation of his own universe. After abandoning hell and retiring to Los Angeles, Lucifer created an entire universe from nothingness, populated it with living beings, its own physical laws, and even its own god. This proves that although his primary role is to shape with his absolute will, he can surpass even the limits of demiurgic power. He has fought and held his own against the Presence, the Supreme Creator, and while he ultimately accepted his father's existence, the fact that he could stand as an equal and challenge the Almighty in a battle of wills is unprecedented. He has also defeated his brother Michael Demiurgos in direct confrontations. However, Lucifer is not without his limits and weaknesses. His greatest weakness is his own boredom and complex psychology. He is a hedonist, constantly seeking new experiences and obsessed with the concept of free will. His immense arrogance and ego sometimes lead him to underestimate seemingly minor foes, or to fall into traps born of his own curiosity. Furthermore, though his will is absolute, he is still bound by his nature. He cannot create life from nothingness in the way the Presence or Michael can. He can only shape what already exists or what he has gathered. And most importantly, he is forever tormented by his relationship with his father, by the loneliness of an eternal being, and by the burden of absolute freedom. Now, let us turn to Oblivion, the embodiment of nothingness. He is one of the most abstract, ancient, and terrifying entities in the Marvel Comics universe. If eternity is the embodiment of time, infinity the embodiment of space, death the embodiment of the end, and Galactus the embodiment of balance, then Oblivion is the embodiment of non-existence, the eternal void beyond all concepts. Oblivion is not a god, not a demon, and not even a sentient entity in the conventional sense. He is the absence of all things, the dark canvas upon which the entire Marvel multiverse is painted. Oblivion existed before the multiverse and will exist after the multiverse collapses. Oblivion is considered the most primordial entity. When there was nothing, there was only Oblivion. When the one above all, the supreme creator of Marvel, began to create, he built the multiverse upon the foundation of Oblivion. Therefore, Oblivion is not within the multiverse. Rather, the multiverse lies within Oblivion, or more precisely, the multiverse is but a tiny bubble floating in the infinite, empty ocean of Oblivion. Oblivion is the negation of everything, the state that all entities, all concepts, and all realities long to return to, or are compelled to return to. The core power of Oblivion is absolute erasure. Oblivion does not fight, does not attack, and does not defend. He is simply the presence of nothingness. Anything that comes into contact with Oblivion's true nature, or falls under his notice, is instantly wiped clean from all levels of existence. This erasure is not merely the destruction of matter or energy, but the annihilation of the very concept of the target's existence. When Oblivion erases something, that thing does not simply die, it has never existed. There is no memory, no trace, and no possibility of resurrection. Oblivion can swallow the entire multiverse, including all dimensions, realities, abstract entities, and concepts, returning them to nothingness. By nature, Oblivion is a natural force, a metaphysical concept rather than an individual with a personality. He is passive, silent, and utterly devoid of feeling. Oblivion has no desires, no goals, and no emotions. He does not hate existence, nor does he crave destruction. He is simply absence. However, in certain stories, Oblivion is portrayed with a twisted consciousness, an ancient and malevolent intellect regarding all existence as an offense against the perfect stillness of the void. In these instances, Oblivion can actively manipulate other entities, create avatars, and set events in motion that lead to the collapse of reality. His weapons and tools are his own essence. He needs no weapons, for all weapons are forged from existence and are therefore meaningless before non-existent. Oblivion can create avatars, physical embodiments carrying a fraction of his power, to interact with the multiverse. These avatars often take the form of shadow creatures, void entities, or even twisted versions of heroes and devils. However, whether it is an avatar or his true form, Oblivion's power remains that of absolute erasure. One of the most terrifying aspects of Oblivion is his relationship with other abstract entities. Eternity, infinity, death, and even the living tribunal, beings who govern and protect the multiverse, are all just concepts residing within existence. Oblivion is the negation of that very existence. Therefore, these abstract entities both fear and revere Oblivion. They know that no matter how powerful they are but drops of water in the ocean, and Oblivion is that ocean. When the multiverse goes through cycles of collapse and rebirth, Oblivion is the one waiting at the end of the cycle, ready to consume everything to begin again from zero. However, Oblivion also possesses inherent, fundamental weaknesses. His greatest weakness is his passivity. As the embodiment of non-existence, Oblivion lacks active will and creativity. He cannot create, cannot shape, and cannot interact with reality directly without relying on avatars or other entities. Oblivion depends on the existence of all things in order to erase them. If nothing exists, Oblivion is merely an empty concept with no object upon which to act. Furthermore, the presence of the One Above All, the Supreme Creator, is the sole exception to Oblivion's power. The One Above All exists above and beyond the very concepts of existence and non-existence, and therefore Oblivion cannot erase him. And now, we have a confrontation. Lucifer, Morningstar, and Oblivion are both metaphysical concepts representing the two most opposing extremes of reality. One side is absolute will, representing the affirmation of existence, freedom, and the shaping of reality. The other is absolute nothingness, representing the negation of existence, stillness, and the erasure of all concepts. In terms of scale and scope of influence, both are evenly matched within their respective cosmology. Lucifer is the second most powerful entity in the DC Vertigo universe, second only to the Presence, and possesses the ability to create, shape, and destroy countless multiverses. Oblivion is the very foundation of the Marvel universe, the infinite void that contains the entire multiverse and all abstract entities. Both exist beyond the laws of time, space, and causality. Therefore, a comparison of pure power is meaningless, as both possess infinite authority within their own domains. However, when analyzing the interaction between their powers, we must consider the core nature of each entity. Oblivion has the ability to erase everything, including concepts, abstract entities, and the multiverse itself. If Oblivion were to turn its attention toward Lucifer, could nothingness erase absolute will? The answer lies in the nature of will itself. In the cosmology of DC Vertigo, Lucifer's will is absolute and irresistible. His will is not an object or concept that can be erased, but the core essence that defines his very existence. Lucifer existed before creation, and his will is what allowed him to shape that creation. Moreover, Lucifer has faced destruction and nothingness before, and he has always affirmed his existence through his will. Oblivion erases that which exists, but Lucifer does not merely exist. He is the embodiment of the affirmation of existence. Therefore, Oblivion's erasure would slip off Lucifer's true nature, much like a blade cannot cut water. Oblivion is non-existence, the void. Lucifer, with his absolute will, has the power to shape everything, including that which does not exist. In many stories, Lucifer has demonstrated that his will can create order from chaos and shape nothingness itself. If Lucifer were to face Oblivion, he would not attempt to erase Oblivion, for that would be meaningless. Instead, Lucifer would use his absolute will to impose existence and concept upon the void. He would shape Oblivion, turning non-existence into a tool, or at the very least, limiting its scope. Lucifer's will is stronger than Oblivion's passivity. Oblivion is simply nothing, while Lucifer is the will that demands everything to be as he desires. In a conflict between an absolute active force and an absolute passive force, the active force will always prevail, for it possesses the ability to adapt, shape, and impose its will upon its adversary. Furthermore, on a psychological and conscious level, Lucifer far surpasses Oblivion. Oblivion is a natural force, lacking free will and creativity. It passively waits for all things to collapse. Lucifer, conversely, is the embodiment of free will, rebellion, and creation through shaping. He actively seeks, challenges, and surpasses all limits. Lucifer's proactivity in iron will allow him to find ways to overcome or neutralize Oblivion's passivity. Lucifer can create new realities, concepts, and laws to encompass and isolate Oblivion, or simply reshape the nature of the void so that it is no longer a threat. Another crucial factor is their relationship with the Supreme Creator. Lucifer is the son of the Presence, and despite his rebellion, his nature remains a part of that supreme creation. His will was born from the Almighty, and thus carries a portion of absolute creative power. Oblivion, though the foundation of Marvel, is still only a concept created by, or allowed to exist by, the One Above All. When comparing the will of Lucifer, an entity carrying the bloodline and essence of the Almighty, with Oblivion, a passive concept, Lucifer holds an ontological advantage. Lucifer, with his absolute will, is the ultimate affirmation of existence. He can create meaning, purpose, and reality from nothingness. Oblivion cannot do that. Oblivion can only wait. In a direct confrontation, Lucifer would not be erased by Oblivion, for his will is stronger than negation. Instead, Lucifer would use his will to shape the void, turning Oblivion into a part of his dominion of will, or at least neutralizing Oblivion's erasing power by imposing absolute existence upon everything. Lucifer's will can bend all things, even nothingness, and impose existence upon non-existence. Therefore, in my opinion, Lucifer Morningstar would be the victor in this confrontation. He would stand firm against the erasure of the void, and through his absolute will he would reshape the emptiness, affirming that existence and free will always triumph over the stillness of nothingness. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all very much.